Hi all, am I audible now or just checking? I just logged off and logged in. The network is great, it's 10 on 10. Yes, thank you. Thanks so much once again. So namaste everybody and good evening to all of you. And I'm so sorry for this change that was a little abrupt. So what I want to bring it to you today to discuss is about the need to have an open mind in accepting change. The word change sounds so difficult, truculent, like, okay, what will happen? Like, just if I could imagine about my own stories of life where I was growing in and I was witnessing multiple changes in my life. I'm sure you all have your own stories about change. And I'll be very happy today to check with you, how did you manage your change? What did you do differently? Or what is the one word that comes to your mind when you look at the word change? So think about it if you have an answer, if a thought comes to your mind which you're comfortable sharing in this chat that we're going to have live right now. So I'll be happy to learn more from you as well. So like I was saying to all of you that as I was growing in my life, I was witnessing so many changes from one system to another system, to different cultures, meeting different people, different age groups of people you're interacting with. So many changes that I was witnessing. And I was wondering whether how will I be managing this change. Some of the times there was a lot of chaos because my mind, the mind, which is the most important thing to all of us, to how do we really get that victory, to manage change, to have a peace of mind. And I think my mind was so naive with this whole change that was going on in my life. And I was really looking at what can I do. Sometimes I used to feel that I'm caged, or sometimes I used to feel that there are so many instructions I need to follow, maybe from my family, from my teachers, from my college. And then there was constant voices which were invisible. And my mind was always ticking and telling me something is wrong, you need to really do something. And that's where the whole point came in about what is change and how do I perceive change. So maybe I would like to ask you as well, how do you perceive change when you witness it? Are you defensive? Are you very creative? Are you observant when you're experiencing the change? Or how do you respond to your own self? And also, how do you respond to others when you see change? Like it said, that change is constant. Everything is changing. So what is inflexible? Because everything in my life is changing every moment. Like the time that I started the session and there was a technological glitch, I was not able to learn more, I got stuck. And that was change happening. Now, whether it was favoring me or not, it all depends upon what is my mindset. And that's where the talk comes in. That how open is your mind? Like over the years when we're growing in our lives, our mind is conditioned to behave in a particular way, in a particular rituals, in a particular etiquette. And then it shapes in a particular format. And we believe that that's the way to live your life. So when we are challenged in an environment, in a surrounding where what we have learned is not getting applied, there's something more to it. My mind needs that more and I'm unable to cope with it. So and that's where I become more inflexible, defensive, angry, sad, maybe self-sabotaging myself, questioning and way that, okay, nothing can work here. And in this tough time, as a popular book that I read way back in my life is that tough time never lasts, but tough people do it. Or the popular saying is when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So, so what this all messages are talking to us is about how do we know that we can open our minds? What are the ways to do it? Because my mind is so stuck, not cognitively, but the way I'm conditioned from my culture, from my people, from the environments, from the social groups, everywhere, and how I've been wanting to project myself to the outer world. So whenever I experience change, what happens? So I have got some secrets to share with you, which is something which you can, I'm sure you may know about it. You may, okay. So Ekta talks about the transition when things change to manage on emotional front. Yeah. Samir says so true. Yeah. Thank you. So my thought to share with all of you here is about how do you know that your mind is open to change, or what does open mind means to all of you. Think about for a minute when you were doing certain things which you were told, and there were a few things which came to you as a surprise. What happened to you? So here comes the NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Okay, it talks about how can you expand your thinking process, how can you inform your mind to access the resourceful space. Remember, your brain, when it does not associate with something familiar, it tends to reject or dissociates. It either feels threat, and the responses you know very well, there's a fight and flight. So whenever you experience change in your personal life, professional life, career, social groups, personal relationships with cousins, if you moment you experience certain change, and if that change is not known to your brain, it is going to be defensive. So how would you like to condition or reprogram yourself so that you're able to witness that change in a much better way, in much positive way, which is positive for you to cope better, to live better, to see it in a way that it doesn't impact you dysfunctionally. And it may vary, the dysfunctionality or the fear may vary a lot, or the emotions may vary a lot, but how are you going to train your mind for the same? So in order to have an open mind, Dr. Richard Bandler talks a lot about how can you train yourself, and some of my learnings from there I'm going to be sharing with you. That means to have an open mind is to access the resourceful spaces of yourself. What does that mean? Is this resourceful thing some sort of things that I need to buy from outside? Is it in a supermarket? Is it in a coaching training programs or in motivational workshops? Or these are all within me? But maybe I do not have that permission yet, or I am not aware that I can do it. So some of the ways that you can have and access the resourceful things from your mind so that your mind can be open from yourself is curiosity. Yes, this word is not very different and not new. This is very, very much with us since we were a child. We were always very curious to learn more. Why do things happen the way they happen? If you remember, we asked questions to our teachers and to our parents about, and they don't even know why are we thinking this way. I remember telling my teacher told me once, okay, why don't you focus on what is important? Too many questions, because the curiosity is also a resourceful space that we have within us. Or taking calculated risk. Like I want to go for bungee jumping or skydiving. So having a support, a tandem, or some sort of calculated risk that I know this person has really taken that jumps for more than 500 or 800, 1,000 jumps. I would love to take that risk. In the same way, certain decisions in your life about stopping your current job or business and starting something new, because of this whole change that's taking place, Maybe pandemic is one of the reasons, but that's an opportunity to look at life in a much positive way. So if you look back to taking calculated risk is to giving yourself the permission to own up your own choices that you make. Also, what I learned is questioning is one of the very interesting things that we never thought that we could do that earlier. So in way back, the very famous philosophers from Socrates always asked question. What is it that I'm doing is helping me? What is that I'm doing is not helping me? And what can I do differently? So these questions creates curiosity. This curiosity makes the brain to think from discomfort, negative, to more comfort and functional. Also reasoning and questioning and discussing with your loved one, discussing with your friends, discussing with a professional mental health support or mental health workers, discussing with your coaches could be, or discussing with your own self. Again, when you discuss, you are gathering different perceptions and it helps you to have a better scope to look at the thing. Or learning from various sources. So the moment you have a learning attitude, you are exploring opportunities rather than threats. You're looking at things in a way that how it can help you to grow better. Also, another resourceful space to have an open mind is observing. The more you observe from your five senses, you're able to filter something which you don't want and you're able to see things the way you want to see it. So your senses play a very vital role. The more you're observant rather than judging, really helps you to look at the reality the way it is. Also, flexibility. We all human beings are gifted to be more flexible in life. Come what may, believe you me, from the month of March when the lockdown took place, there was a change, massive change, discomforting. What did we do? We adapted. We were flexible. Though it was painful, but your mind was able to adapt to this change. So flexibility is in our DNA. It's just to tap that part of us which we're struggling today. Also reflecting. Reflections help us a lot more rather than reflexing. When you reflex, you are just so defensive because you see it as threat, the change as threat. But for me, learning NLP and teaching NLP has helped me a lot to reflect and be more reflective in understanding self, others, environment, situation, and the world around me. Also challenging. Yeah, it is scary when we are challenged. We confront it, but it is good to get challenged because that helps us to be more creative, to find different ways to understand things. So let me check if there are any questions for me. Hello, Swanan. Namaste. Thanks, Shalaka. I really like your thought. Change is transformative, sometimes tough and sometimes smooth. Yeah, absolutely. And when this tough time comes in is where we are challenged enough and it tests us beautifully. Yeah. Okay, if there are any questions, feel free to, I'll be very happy to support. So now let's move to some other qualities that we have about having an open mind is to accept. Yes, it's very simple and easy to say the word accept, but it is the worst thing that could ever happen. Okay, how can I accept something which I'm not comfortable? So what I'm not comfortable is a part of me which is not yet ready to change. And that part of me needs to work. So if you look at, there are so many ways for you to keep an open mind to accept change with help of NLP. It really helps us because you have curiosity as one of your resourceful space. You can question, you can challenge, you can reflect, you can observe, you can be flexible. So the moment you have an open mind, that's Otto Scharmer theory says, which opens your heart and opens your will, and you're ready to accept new positive things that are happening in your life. I think with pandemic, what I've learned is to draw boundaries about how much work can I do, how much work I don't need to. I need to also have my time, my me time. So I think how am I perceiving from that mind, the most interesting element of us, the mind? How are we going to condition our mind to see the positives? When in your life you don't see things going the way you want to, maybe it's important to go with the way the life is taking you through, because that is something which is changing and teaching you something, new lessons, so that you have new chapters, new stories to create in your life. My journey with NLP, learning with Dr. Richard Bandler, I think the most interesting thing that ever happened in my life is that I was able to experience that in some places in my life, some aspects in my life, that, hey, I have a choice. I can make those choices and I can own those choices when they do not go well with me. So that helped me a lot to be more individual person, or individuation process took place when I was able to take and own up for what I believed to be true. Sometimes I got great success and sometimes I learned great lessons. But that gave me a choice, that I have a choice to make in life, not need to just keep following what I'm supposed to do. So my success story also helped me a lot to understand there's no one way to climb Mount Everest. Because many times we think that this is a way to do it and that will give us success. That means we have not found the 99 other ways to do it. We do not want to take that because we feel we don't have a choice. But then I realized that there are certain maps or certain images that I have about life to live in. And that's the reason I was finding myself very difficult to adapt to new changes. And by struggling with that limiting beliefs about myself and holding that belief and feeling miserable, not helping me to grow, not able to accept the change and move on. It also paralyzed my way of looking at other people and accept them or work with them. So really NLP learning, teaching, growing made me feel that I have a choice, and that choice and the maps and the images that I create about reality can change, because there is no absolute reality. It's all very perception. If you remember the story of the elephant, I'm sure it's so interesting to bring that example here. I just can't wait, because it really talks that if I'm chained by a particular belief, I am going to think that I cannot accept any new things in my life. But the moment I realize I'm not an elephant, I'm a human being. I have the brain, the capacity. I have an open mind, open heart, open will to bring that change, to bring that shift. And I can break the chain anytime. So that really ends my topic for this evening, a little mini session on how do you keep an open mind. So my question to all of you is that how ready are you to identify the chain, to break that chain, and to free yourself by realizing the true potential is within you, and you found these resourceful spaces within you to fly high and come across in your life as a winner. So let me check if there are any more questions for me. Yeah. Thank you, Manoj. Yes, thank you so much once again. So that comes to an end of the topic for today, but I've got some freebie for you. If you get a chance, we are running a free psychometric assessment to understand more about your personalities. It's free till 15th of September 2020 if you get time. Also, if you like these videos, there are a lot of knowledge series that we have done in the past and also doing now. So you can subscribe to our channel, that is YouTube. You can just type in Dr. Paras and we can connect. So do visit. We're also running a program on NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So if you are interested to learn more about how you want to free yourself professionally, you want to pick up a career in becoming a practitioner in NLP, it's a good opportunity I look forward to. So I think it has been a great journey talking, connecting with you all at regular intervals. And feel free to ask me questions, and I'm always open to answer them either today or in the following session. So lovely talking to all of you. Have a lovely evening, lovely good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in different part of the world. And keep an open mind, open heart and open will, and see the change. You're ready for it. Take that leap of faith today. Have a lovely evening. Signing off today. This is Paris. See you for now. Bye.